Now at 4 News Now at 6, a trip to the backcountry ends with one man dying in an avalanche. We'll show you what was hiding beneath the surface that triggered the slide.
I'm tracking some dense fog and more rain on the way. I'll show you when things are expected to dry out in your First Alert forecast.
And Spokane Public Schools wants you to approve a $200 million bond. What that money would be used for coming up. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. New details tonight about the avalanche that killed a man near Lookout Pass nearly 2 weeks ago. Thanks for being with us. I'm Derek Dice. The final report shows one of the men triggered the avalanche as he skied down the very steep slopes of Stevens Peak. This is a picture from the top of the ridge, looking down at where the avalanche swept up the two skiers. One was carried down the slope, inflating his safety vest and staying near the top of the snow. The other was carried down into a line of trees. You see that arrow there, and killed. The report shows the men did many things correctly, even planning out the details during a Zoom call the night before. But what they didn't know is found in this picture. These layers of snow delicately sitting on top of one another. But this rain crust formed 3 weeks before, along with the steepness of that terrain, created a situation where the very powder the skiers were searching for became their downfall. Our Marissa Rio explains what factors led to this deadly disaster.
These three men did many things right. They were experienced backcountry skiers. They had all of the proper gear, and each of them had gone through previous avalanche training. So what went wrong? I spoke with one of the investigators of this avalanche, and he said they were surrounded by avalanche terrain. If you look behind me, this slope over here is just over 20 degrees. Where they were was over 30. This means that the risk of an avalanche was high.
So they did a lot of things right, but in this case, Mother Nature doesn't really care about those things.
It was advised to stay off of the avalanche slopes the day of the accident. An official with the Idaho Panhandle Avalanche Center told me that the combination of fresh snow and winds were a cause for concern.
And because the snow was so light, it was actually able to be transported by the wind. And so it was deeper in some places than even 2 feet.
After successfully finishing their first line of ski, the men decided to go a little higher up the mountain, where they encountered avalanche terrain. The men continued to go down one by one, another common safety practice. The first skier made it down safely.
The second skier that started to descend the slope got about 3 turns in, and they noticed a small slide within the new snow, about 12 inches deep.
Within a matter of seconds, the combination of the hard surface, the 39-degree slope, and the weight of the skier triggered a larger avalanche.
Good example would be if you had a kitchen table and you poured a bunch of sugar on it or a bunch of flour on it, and then you take the table and you start to lift up one end, and then all of a sudden it all slides off.
The avalanche fully buried the first two, prompting a rescue by the third skier. Unfortunately, one of the skiers was found pinned to a tree and didn't survive. The advice Thompson has is to check the forecast before backcountry skiing, take an avalanche class, and try to avoid avalanche terrain as much as possible. Reporting in Idaho, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
And whenever anyone is caught in an avalanche or has an emergency in a remote area, one of the biggest challenges rescue crews face is finding that person. That's why last year, the Spokane County Regional Air Support Unit invested in the RICO system. And here's how it works. The device fires a radar signal that can travel the length of 30 football fields per minute. It's set to detect any RICO reflectors you may be wearing. That signal bounces back and allows crews to get a better idea of your location. It's important to note this only works if you've purchased a reflector, which we found on Amazon for about $40. All right, we hope you enjoy this gray and dreary weather because we've got more of it on the way. We're going to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker now to see when these skies might clear.
There is one day where we might see a little bit of sunshine, but my word, we have got a lot of gray skies and fog and rain showers right now. Looking live over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, visibility is great in downtown. You get a little bit further to the west, and that's where things really go downhill. Here's Here's a look at our visibility currently right now, down to 0, or of course less than a quarter mile in Deer Park. Also at the airport, down to less than a quarter of a mile. Things have actually improved a little at Fairchild Air Force Base with a mile visibility. As we take a broader look, we find some areas of dense fog down around the Tri-Cities as well as up around Omak. We've seen some improvement in Moses Lake, where visibility is now at about a mile. The precipitation is tapering off, but we're not going to be drying out. Expect wet roads and sidewalks, and as temperatures get down close to freezing tonight, those wet roads and sidewalks will be getting icy, and that includes some areas of freezing fog. 32 and foggy to start the day tomorrow. We'll bring in the chance of rain in Spokane right around noon, and that will continue through most of the day. That high, though, 40 degrees, compares to an average high of 35. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast. Tell you about that one dry day that I'm seeing in the forecast, Eric.
We'll look forward to that one day. All right, we now know what caused the bus crash that sent 13 students from the Wahluke School District to the hospital. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says a pickup truck ran a stop sign, crashing into the side of this school bus, knocking it over. Investigators say low visibility from the fog may have played a factor. None of the children were seriously injured, thankfully. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital, though, with serious injuries. Hundreds of families who lost their homes in last year's Spokane County wildfires could get a break when it comes to rebuilding if the legislature passes a new bill. Hundreds of homes burned in those August fires in Elk and Medical Lake. If they rebuild after March 15th, new building codes would make it more expensive for them to use appliances that rely on natural gas. That's also very difficult for people living in certain areas of Elk where there isn't even access to the electrical grid. That's why 2 representatives from Spokane County proposed a bill that would allow homeowners to build under energy codes that were in effect last year when those fires happened. You can read more details of that bill and find a link to follow its progress through the legislature inside this story on KXLY.com. Washington lawmakers are also proposing a bill to make at least one baby diaper changing table accessible to everyone. It would apply to new construction and existing buildings where public restrooms are required upon renovation. It says there must be at least one changing station accessible to both men and women, whether that's by putting one in a men's restroom and a women's restroom or having one in a gender-neutral restroom. The bill is in committee in the House right now. All right, still ahead here, a woman in Michigan on trial after her son shot and killed 4 people at his school. Why the prosecutors say she's partially responsible, coming up. And there's now one less fire engine in Spokane Valley after it was hit by a car. Why officials say it won't impact call times. Next on 4 News Now.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Save your greed!
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
When I was 18, I really wanted to go to college and I wanted to study art, but I didn't know how to go about it. Being undocumented for most of my life, I wasn't able to apply for FAFSA or any financial aid, so I took out some private loans. I kept paying and paying and paying and paying, but they just wouldn't go down. BCU helped me get back on my feet. I took out a credit card with them. It allowed me to rebuild my credit. I just always assumed that the default was like, well, banks always take advantage of you. Being in a credit union has proved to me that, no, there is an alternative.
Temperatures outside are expected to drop near 0 from now through the end of the month, and we want you to be prepared. Keep your thermostat set at 70 degrees. Let faucets in your home drip. Cover hose bibs. Keep garage doors closed. Have space heaters on hand. And remember, Bill's Heating and Air will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, should you have issues at all. Happy New Year from your Bill's Heating and Air family.
The time to buy is now. Yes, RV show pricing continues at R&R RV in North Spokane. Over 125 RVs are indoors at 525 East Francis. You'll save thousands with rebates and show discounts on Cougar, Rockwood, Montana, Class B vans, and more. Everything show priced. Don't shop in the cold. Shop over 125 RVs indoors now at R&R RV in North Spokane, 525 East Francis. Online at rnrrv.com.
PB&J?
PB before we go.
P before we go.
P before we go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.
She hit the back of our truck. Now she's in the middle of the freeway. So we're unprotected. She's unprotected.
That was Provisional Captain Dave Griffiths talking about the scary situation his crew faced on Saturday afternoon. His crew on Ladder Truck 10 had stopped at a crash on the shoulder of eastbound I-90 at the Sullivan Road interchange when a new crash suddenly occurred. Hunter Bertram obtained the intense radio call between Ladder 10 and the fire station when they were hit.
Yes, this ambulance. We just had another vehicle slide into our truck. And we've he's a red patient, so send me a full extrication response and get the state out here to stand this road. It's a sheet of ice.
Through Saturday morning, road conditions were extremely icy, causing many accidents. As the Spokane Valley Fire Department responded to one of them, they themselves were hit.
I was actually in there making lunch when I heard him on the radio say Ladder 10 has just been struck by a truck, start an extrication response, and we have a red patient, which means a pretty serious patient.
First reaction is, are my guys okay? And I knew where I was and my engineer, but I wanted to make sure that the guys were out of the truck. So right away I knew, okay, we're all okay. And then my focus obviously goes to the occupant that hit our truck.
Luckily, the women who had hit the truck only had minor injuries, but as it goes for the fire engine, it will be off the road for months.
And so we park in a way to hopefully deflect vehicles if they were to hit us. This one came in a little bit different angle than what you'd expect, but you can never, there's never a normal on a freeway call like that.
Yet a scary situation, a successful one. Because they had positioned the truck in a specific way, it saved many lives.
There was a moment there where we were, oh, okay, here we go. And so our training kicks in, and we did what we did.
At some point, you try and do as much as you can, and it's kind of a team sport when it comes to we need some of the citizens' help on days like that to slow down. It was extremely icy.
As it goes for service when responding to calls, the station tells me the loss of the truck will have no substantial impact as they will use one of their reserved trucks. Reporting in Spokane Valley, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, a man from Colbert will spend the next 12 years in prison for drug trafficking. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, 35-year-old James Bacon was the suspect of a DEA investigation related to drug trafficking. Bacon was arrested and had meth and heroin on him. When investigators searched his home, they found 2 pounds of meth, body armor with a Velcro police patch, several guns, including an AR-15 style rifle, and 5 pounds of C4 plastic explosives.
Well, it was a dark and damp Tuesday, but even so, temperatures were about 5 degrees above average. We topped out at 40 degrees today. 35 is our average high. We did not get down below freezing this morning. 36 to start. Sunset was at 4:37. We've got more mild weather in the 7-day forecast. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
Where would you get engaged? At our most spectacular historic hotel? Wherever you get engaged, we want to help you mark your moment. Tracy Jewelers, where Spokane gets engaged since 1950.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Agriculture Innovation meets tradition February 6th through the 8th at the Spokane Convention Center. Come see the latest in farming technology, network with peers and industry experts, and participate in seminars. Whether you're a seasoned grower, an entrepreneur, or just passionate about agriculture, this is the event for you. Meet, learn, grow at the Spokane Egg Show. Get your tickets now. I'm Melissa Paul, Egg Show Director, and I'll see you there.
Losing weight isn't one size fits all. For many, the popular weight loss drugs are helping. For others, it's lifestyle changes and exercise. And for some, it's weight loss surgery. What could work for you? This week, GMA has real answers. It's the weight loss revolution on Good Morning America.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
Where would you get engaged? At our most spectacular historic hotel? Wherever you get engaged, we want to help you mark your moment. Tracy Jewelers, where Spokane gets engaged since 1950.
I got you. I got you, bud. I got you.
What you're looking at is a police officer in Arkansas rushing to save a child who fell into a partially frozen pond. The officer managed to pull that boy out, and he was taken to the hospital to be checked out. Probably not something you have to deal with a lot in Arkansas, where they don't usually have, right, really freezing temperatures.
No.
But they've been going through it, as has much of the South lately.
They've got all the Arctic air has moved to the east, and now we're in the 40s.
Which is, yeah, bizarre considering where we were a week or two ago.
Right, so stay off of the ice now here. It is melting fast and will continue to do so. We're above freezing presently, 37 and foggy in Spokane right now. In Coeur d'Alene, it is 36 degrees with cloudy skies. We're going to see our temperatures bottoming out right around freezing. All of those wet roads, you'll find some icy spots. Watch for the sparkly streets. As I say, 4 things to know about your weather. Areas of dense fog tonight, particularly on the West Plains, down through portions of the Columbia Basin. Wednesday, we have another round of rain coming in, and should be all valley rain. Our snow level is still quite high. We have the possibility of more showers on Thursday with similar timing. And then Friday may be our one dry day, and with a little bit of luck might even see some hints of sunshine. That's a tough bet this time of year. Here's our chance of rain on Wednesday. We'll start the day off with dry conditions, but we'll see that fog. We're up to 20% by 11, but right about noon, that's when that rain comes in and will stay with us through the afternoon with lingering showers in the evening. Here's our forecast radar. Starting off at our current time, we still have a few spots where we're seeing some light precipitation in the central panhandle. That will come to an end overnight, and then the next system approaches. Here's 8 a.m. tomorrow with rain in Moses Lake, moving into Ritzville. Little bit of snow from Wenatchee up around Winthrop and Omak. Accumulations, however, in this area will be in general less than an inch. Then that snow moves into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, still going at 5 o'clock, particularly through North Idaho. All is rain in the valleys, and then we dry out Wednesday night. Here comes the next system. Almost identical timing. Here's 8 a.m. Thursday, rain in Moses Lake, a little bit of light snow in Wenatchee, Winthrop. Little bit cooler air with this system, so you may see some snow trying to mix in with the rain at your house, but no accumulating snow in the 7-day forecast for the valleys. Overnight lows tonight will be down right about freezing in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Few spots staying above, and then highs tomorrow in the 40s in many locations. Just a few spots staying in the 30s tomorrow. Cooler on Thursday with that possibility of some snow mixing in. There's our one mostly dry day on Friday with more wet weather coming in Saturday, and then next week we really warm up. We're in the mid to upper 40s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's going to take our snow levels up to levels we don't really want to talk about in terms of snowpack and skiing and snowshoeing and such. But in the meantime, we are going to be staying right around the 40-degree range through Saturday. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks so much. In California, heavy rain leads to extreme flooding. Meanwhile, the Northeast is preparing for another major snowstorm. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
Look, it's actually overflowing here, look.
Streets turn to rivers in San Diego with heavy rainfall causing extreme flooding.
Oh my God.
At least 24 people had to be rescued after more than a month's worth of rain hit in just 3 hours. Parts of Interstate 5 underwater, this neighborhood engulfed. The fire department using inflatable boats and rescue boards to get people out of their homes. Crews also using jet skis and rafts to reach those trapped.
They're taking families out of the flood. Their house. A lot of people are trapped right now.
This dog stuck on a roof until help arrived. Meanwhile, homeowners watched as their things got washed away.
Bench, a table, a picnic table right here. Everything. It looks like a tornado went through our house right now.
This as millions face a bitter blast. More than a dozen states under ice alerts Tuesday. Detroit once again bracing for sleet and freezing rain.
Our people have been out essentially almost 2 weeks straight now, round the clock many of those days.
In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, these vehicles finally being removed after being stuck for 2 weeks in the snow.
This is probably one of the worst winters I've seen in quite a few years.
Relief is on the way for many people, with warmer temperatures expected to reach the 40s, 50s, and even 60s in parts of the Midwest and Northeast. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, still ahead, parents across the U.S. are boycotting a popular baby brand for firing one of its employees. Find out why in just a few minutes.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's back. 4 big days, January 25th to the 28th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. New dealers, new boats, new floor layout. Go to SpokaneBoatShow.com.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Bruno! Bruno!
Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or get $2,000 NMAC cash on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
Our kitchen used to look like this. So I went to the Par Design Center, where they helped me choose my cabinets, countertops, and hardware, and we loved the results.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build? If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Drive new 2024 Subaru Outback models with 1.9 APR at AutoNation Subaru.
Boats of all types and sizes, heavy metal and smaller fishing boats, open bow, high-performance ski and wakeboard boats, pontoons, and personal watercraft. Learn more at SpokaneBoatShow.com.
Save your greed!
Today we got close to half of the vote. We still have a ways to go, but we keep moving up.
That, of course, was Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley speaking after learning former President Donald Trump won today's New Hampshire primary. Haley goes on to say she does not plan on dropping out of the race anytime soon, highlighting that there used to be 14 candidates on the ballot, and she is the only one left standing to face Trump. Many of those who've dropped out of the race ended up backing the former president.
We need Donald Trump. America needs Donald Trump.
If you want to make America great again, vote Trump.
If you want 4 more years of Donald Trump, let me hear you scream.
Haley spent a lot of time in New Hampshire trying to sway voters, crisscrossing the state for over 41 days with 81 events compared to Trump's 15 days on the trail and 17 rallies.
I fight the political class. Donald Trump has the political class surrounding him. That's not what Americans want.
Now, both of the candidates turned their attention to Haley's home state of South Carolina. In Michigan, a woman and her husband are on trial for involuntary manslaughter after their son shot and killed 4 students at his high school in 2021. It's a case that some legal experts acknowledge could test the boundaries for future mass shootings and ultimately who shares the responsibility. CNN's Laura Aguirre has the story.
Jennifer and James Crumbly were arrested just days after their son killed 4 students and injured 6 others, plus a teacher, at Oxford High School in November 2021.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty? Yes, sir.
Ethan Crumbly, who was 15 at the time of the shootings, is serving life without parole after pleading guilty to all 24 charges against him in October of 2022, including first-degree murder and terrorism. Michigan prosecutors also charged his parents with involuntary manslaughter, claiming they willfully ignored the needs and well-being of their son, and they knew of his depression and fascination with guns. During Ethan Crumbly's sentencing, his defense team claimed that their teen client suffered from mental illness. James and Jennifer Crumbly say the charges against them are unjustified, and they shouldn't be held responsible for their son's actions. They asked a judge to separate their cases, and Tuesday, prospective jurors are being screened to find the 16 who will sit for Jennifer's trial. Both parents have previously indicated they would want their son to testify in their defense.
Obviously, if he's called as a witness, that's something that may play out.
A potentially risky legal move after what Ethan told the court when he pleaded guilty.
Is it true that the firearm that you used on November the 30th was purchased on November the 26th, 2021 by your father, James Crumbly? Yes.
James Crumbly's trial is scheduled to begin in March. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Well, the White House is working on an executive order that focuses on protecting your personal data. The draft text of the order says foreign attempts to take information about Americans represents a, quote, unusual and extraordinary threat to national security. Numerous sources tell CNN the directive may be finalized and issued within a few weeks. It calls for U.S. officials to place new restrictions on personal data that is often acquired legally online. This order is expected to cover health records and genetic information, as well as cell phone tracking data.
In just 3 weeks, Spokane voters will decide on a bond improving schools district-wide, why they're needed and why some say they don't want to see their taxes increase.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andy's priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andy's offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andy's team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andy's to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
Experience the Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo. Explore better boats, the largest selection of inventory, and the biggest savings, all under one roof, inside the region's largest indoor showroom. Discover the latest models from the industry's best brands, including Cobalt, Malibu, Axis, Barletta, Chris-Craft, Harris, Regal, and Cruisers Yachts, plus our huge display of pre-owned inventory. Mark your calendars and make waves with us at the biggest event of the year, happening February 1st through February 10th. The Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo. Better boats, better prices, better event.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Get a large 2-topping take and bake pizza for just $10.99. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, next month, Spokane voters will decide on a $200 million school bond. If approved, it would increase property taxes by an average of $1.36 per $1,000 of assessed property value each year through 2027. All of this will go towards replacing and modernizing schools district-wide. Bronte Sorotsky explains why the district says this bond is so important.
Overcrowded classrooms, out-of-date safety designs, and lack of accessibility are just a few reasons that the school district is hoping this bond is approved next month.
And this bond is extremely important.
In just 3 weeks, Spokane voters will decide on a $200 million school bond. The school district says it's necessary to fill in gaps that state funding doesn't cover.
There's a major building component. There's an annual capital building component. And there's also the safety and security and the technology.
The bond will fund major district projects like the replacement of its 2 oldest elementary schools, Adams and Madison.
Those 2 schools have been slowly progressing in age and continuing to need upgrades.
It would also fund the modernization and expansion of North Central High School.
North Central has had additions and improvements made on it, but now the largest component of the school is well over 40 years old, and it's time for it to get upgrades.
The school district says this bond will improve school buildings and services district-wide, but some taxpayers argue they're paying enough as is.
Well, I think everybody's feeling it, all the way from the gas pump to your grocery bills. Everything has increased. And if you're a property owner, your taxes have increased around 40%.
Natalie Polson says she doesn't see the need for these upgrades in the economy's current state.
Is that building providing better outcomes? I just don't see it.
The school district stresses its importance, saying the bond contributes to its 30-year plan while giving students better opportunities for learning. The bond will need at least 60% of the yes vote to be approved. In studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Spokane Public Schools is also asking voters to renew a $300 million levy. The district says levies provide 14% of their annual budget. It would pay for programs like counseling, library, and nursing services. It would be renewed at about $2.50 per $1,000 of assessed property value each year. All right, we are going to send things over to Chris Crocker now for a look at what's ahead of us here in Spokane as the rain gets ready to make a return.
We do have more rain on the way, and as you can see there, that fog off to the west, areas of dense fog tonight through tomorrow morning. Wednesday, the rain returns. Looks like it'll be right around noon in the Spokane area. Showers often on Thursday as well. And then we're going to be mostly dry on Friday. That's our one dry day. Let's take a look at our Doppler radar right now. And even though it is quiet in terms of precipitation with all the damp roads and the melting snow and the fog. It might as well be raining. It definitely feels wet outside. Our temperatures right now are above freezing throughout the entire region, including 39 at Bonners Ferry and St. Mary's, 37 right now in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, as well as Pullman and Ritzville. But we will be bottoming out right around freezing in many locations, so keep an eye on those roads. You might run into some slick spots late tonight and early tomorrow morning. We're going to warm up quickly into the 40s with more rain moving in around noon. That's 5 degrees above average. No sign of snow in the 7-day forecast, and boy, do we need it in the mountains. I've got an update on our snowpack coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Lawmakers in Olympia want to make it harder for police to stop people for jaywalking. One of the sponsors of the bill saying the law doesn't stop people from getting hit by cars, adding it also disproportionately impacts the homeless and black people. The Free to Walk bill would make it legal to cross the street with a posted speed limit of 45 miles per hour or less, as long as it does not affect the flow of traffic. If passed, you could be stopped by police for jaywalking only if you're creating an immediate risk for yourself or others. One lawmaker in Boise wants to make the terms sex and gender synonymous under Idaho state law. The bill says confusion over the definition of these terms can hinder individual efforts to enjoy equal treatment under the law. The bill defines sex as an individual's biological sex, either male or female. It also states when gender is used to refer to males and females, it should be considered a synonym for sex. The committee introduced the bill, and it could be heard at a later date. Well, the popular baby clothing company Kyte Baby is facing a boycott after an employee's request to work remotely while her newborn is in the hospital was denied. In December, Marissa Hughes' adopted son was hospitalized in a neonatal intensive care unit 9 hours away from her home in Dallas. She says her request to work remotely for Kyte Baby was denied, and she was fired after not returning from her allotted 2-week maternity leave. Hughes shared her story online, and the backlash was swift. Other parents sharing videos showing them tossing their Kyte Baby products.
I will never give Kyte Baby another dime of my money. I wanted to hop on here to sincerely apologize to Marissa.
The CEO posted 2 apology videos promising policy changes and even offered Hughes a new position with the company. But Hughes denied, saying it would not be appropriate for her to return. She says her son could be in the hospital until March. All right, still ahead here, the Oscar nominees are out. Find out if your favorites are up for Best Picture. And jamming out in the middle of brain surgery. Why his doctors say it actually helps during the procedure.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight.
Queen Nation, the ultimate tribute to the music of Queen, live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, March 7th. Get your tickets now for the #1 ranked Queen Tribute Act.
Winning is just the beginning.
This is a great opportunity to recognize the people who are behind the scenes doing the work.
STCU's Volunteers Count showcases people who volunteer.
There's just so many people that need so much help.
This grant that we just received is going to be such a blessing.
This is quite an honor. It will help so many people.
Tell us about a volunteer who inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate today.
Thanks to STCU and News 4 for doing this. It's amazing.
If you've been thinking about remodeling your kitchen or upgrading a bathroom with a fun new look, right now is the perfect time to call Northwest Granite and Cabinets.
Northwest Granite and Cabinets is the premier shop for the best selection of unique granite, marble, and quartz countertop options, and can customize any unique look you need with a variety of options for any room in your home.
So, if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look this year, call Northwest Granite, the one-stop shop that does it all.
Now's the perfect time for your new adventure. So, catch the wind, catch the view, or do something that takes your breath away. AutoNation Toyota is here to help get you out there right now. Lease a new 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road. Just $489 a month. Visit AutoNation Toyota today. What drives you drives us.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you.
want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Where winning is just the beginning.
Playboy founder Hugh Hefner's widow. Her shocking new book. Next, Inside Edition. She was Hefner's last wife. Did she ever really love him? Crystal Hefner tells all.
It became my identity.
Then, Battleground, New Hampshire. The primary that could change everything. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
All right, take a look at this video of our director, Darren, slipping while trying to shovel his porch over the weekend. He twisted his ankle pretty bad, but don't worry, he says it's actually getting better. Didn't need that freeze frame, did you, Chris?
Oh,
and
my goodness.
It's not the first time. He says he fell last year, but landed on his back in the exact same spot. Of course, that's his video. He shared it with us, so we have his permission.
Yes, in the shorts, of course. Now, the reason that we're talking about this is not just to show Darren's faux pas, but because these kinds of accidents are very common during the winter.
There's a lot of musculoskeletal injuries involved with falling, such as sprains, contusions, and fractures.
And health experts also warn you to not overdo it while shoveling. You don't have to worry about that here anymore. They say you can easily strain your back if you try to lift too much snow all at once.
Yeah, like you said, we're not worrying too much about snow right now because of all the rain that we've been having lately. And how might that affect the snowpack?
It is taking a toll, and will continue to do so. And that is the bad news in all of this. Whether you love snow or you hate it, we need it in the mountains. And I know I hear that a lot in the grocery store checkout line. Keep it in the mountains. Unfortunately, we haven't even been able to do that during this El Nino year. And that's what we frequently end up with during El Nino. And this is a look at our current snowpack. And this is the percentage of normal as of today. And this is the snow water equivalent, so not necessarily the depth of the snow, but the amount of moisture contained in the snow. And it is a shadow of what it is supposed to be this time of year down in the Clearwater Basin, Coeur d'Alene, St. Joe basins. We're in that 55 to 59% range. The Spokane River Basin, 57% of average. Doing a little bit better further to the north, Ponderay Basin at 64, and the Upper Columbia at 61. Then things really improve as we get into the Central Columbia Basin, up to 70%. Not great. And then the Lower Snake, 79% of average. That's Upper Snake, actually. Excuse me. Here's a look at the U.S. Drought Monitor, meanwhile, and you can see those areas of orange on your screen. That is classified as severe drought. So we're talking about a good stretch of the Selkirks and down into the Bitterroot Mountain range in that severe drought. It's moderate drought in the Coeur d'Alene area, as well as parts of Spokane County up into the Northeast Mountains. And then finally, just dry down on the Washington Palouse. Meanwhile, the Columbia Basin, not in the drought category, but we really would help us if we could beef up our snowpack. We do have a lot of wet weather coming, 80% chance of rain. This is in Spokane, at least a chance of precipitation every day. Friday, just barely 10% chance. But here is a look at our snow level. It's going to be lower the next few days, 4,000 feet tomorrow. That would help. 3,500 feet on Thursday, down to 3,000 feet on Friday, but then it jumps. We're up to 6,500 on Saturday, 7,000, and that might be generous on Sunday, and then it gets even higher as we get into next week. So taking it up above our highest mountain peaks in the inland Northwest. Here's a look at your planning forecast. 40 degrees tomorrow with rain arriving in the afternoon. Thursday, you might see a little bit of snow mixing in on the higher benches, but nothing that is going to stick. Fridays are one potentially dry day with more wet weather coming into the weekend. But you'll notice Sunday, 44 degrees, 47 Monday, and 46 degrees on Tuesday. So that sends that snow level way up above the ski areas, Derek.
Okay, yeah, not great for them, for sure. 15 local nonprofits will benefit from a community partnership fund offered by the MultiCare Health System. $800,000 in funding will help address behavioral health, housing and homelessness, food insecurity, healthcare, and children's needs. MultiCare chose the local nonprofits based on the biggest health needs seen in its hospitals and clinics. Some of the organizations include the Carl Maxey Center, the Vanessa Behan Crisis Nursery, and the YWCA. The funding will also go to nonprofits in the Puget Sound and Yakima Valley. The nominations for the 96 Oscars are out, with Oppenheimer topping the list with 13 nominations, but there were some snubs and surprises. ABC's Tim Pulliam has more from LA.
The world will remember this day.
Oppenheimer dominating the 96 Academy Awards Oscar nominations at the Samuel Goldwyn Theater in Beverly Hills.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer.
The movie racking up nods in 13 categories, including Best Picture. This year's Oscars race welcomes 10 first-time nominees in the acting category.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
For supporting actress, Barbie's America Ferrera competing with
I come here out of respect.
Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, Da'Vine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers, and Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. Colman Domingo, Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright are new to the lead actor category. There were some surprises. Margot Robbie did not get a nomination in the lead actress category, but picking up a nomination for Best Picture as a producer on the film.
What I was made for.
The summer blockbuster also picking up 2 nominations for Original Song. Also, previous Oscar winner Leonardo DiCaprio did not get a Best Actor nomination for his lead actor role in Killers of the Flower Moon. In the directing category, at age 81, Martin Scorsese becomes the oldest nominee for Killers of the Flower Moon. Justine Trier's directing nomination in Anatomy of a Fall marks the 9th for a woman, and the 5th consecutive year a female-directed film is up for Best Picture. Steven Spielberg receives his 13th Best Picture nomination, a record for an individual producer. You can catch the Oscars, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, Sunday, March 10th, right here on ABC. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, Barbie star Ryan Gosling released a statement about Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie not being nominated for Best Director and Best Actress, saying there is no Ken without Barbie and there is no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the 2 people most responsible for this history-making, globally celebrated film. Gosling said he was very disappointed the 2 were not nominated in their categories. Well, Gonzaga forward Anton Watson sounds off on the criticism against the Zags this season. What the Spokane native had to say next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When it comes to quality roofing solutions, trust the experts at Roofs by Premier. Roofs by Premier has more than 50 years of experience in the Inland Northwest. Schedule now for spring and receive $500 off. RV show pricing continues now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake. Yes, every RV in stock at R&R RV Liberty Lake is show priced. You'll save thousands with rebates and show discounts on Cougar, Rockwood, Montana, Class B vans, and more. Everything show priced. Now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake. Shop online at rnrrv.com or visit R&R RV in Liberty Lake, Eastern Washington's largest RV dealer. From refinishing cabinets, doors, and trim to painting walls and ceilings, Everhart Painting has you covered. Everhart Painting has been Spokane's premier painting contractor for over 50 years. Call now for our winter special. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an award-winning Equinox. Lend a hand in the Silverado with up to 14 available camera views. Or mix it up in the Trax with an 11-inch diagonal display screen. Find the Chevy that's right for you. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Equinox models. Or get $500 cash allowance, plus current competitive owners get an additional $1,000 cash allowance.
See your hometown Chevy dealer today. the bare minimum at work probably won't earn you a bonus this year. But at Northern Quest, that unremarkable work ethic can't stop you from having your best year ever with an extra $2,024 a month. It's our best year ever giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter. Then be here for the grand prize drawing this Thursday. And don't go above or beyond. Details at northernquest.com.
If you're looking to remodel your home with some new stylish flooring or maybe some modern wallscape ideas, then you need to visit one of Windsor Plywood's 2 locations for the best selection of doors, floors, moldings, and more.
Windsor Plywood.
When it comes to quality roofing solutions, trust the experts at Roofs by Premier. Roofs by Premier has more than 50 years of experience in the Inland Northwest. Schedule now for spring and receive $500 off.
Save your greed!
Well, Gonzaga's streak of 24 straight NCAA tournament appearances may be in jeopardy. The number of tough losses have put the Bulldogs on the bubble for the big dance. Sports director Julian Minnesone is here to tell us how the guys have been handling what many are calling an off year.
No phones, no social media. The Bulldogs have been staying away from all of that to block out the outside noise. The guys have acknowledged they aren't going to be one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament like in years past, but there is still a lot of work to do if the Bulldogs even want to continue their tournament streak. As of now, Gonzaga is one of the last 4 teams in the tournament, according to ESPN's bracketology. That means there isn't a lot of room for error. Gonzaga has a huge matchup at home against San Francisco on Thursday. The Dons are ranked in the top 60 of the net rankings, meaning this game could go a long way in solidifying Gonzaga's NCAA tournament hopes. The Bulldogs have been at least a 4 seed or higher in every tournament since 2017. So GU is in unfamiliar territory right now, but forward Anton Watson isn't paying attention to the hate.
The people who are commenting, tweeting on us, it's people usually who haven't touched a basketball in their life and, don't understand, the work we put into it and, just everything that happens in the game. So I don't pay no mind to it. I know people are going to talk, and I just hope they stay on that side. If we start winning, hope they don't try to come back and, hop on the train.
Gonzaga hasn't missed the tournament since Watson has been alive. He's 23 years old. Pretty incredible the success they've had at GU. Tip-off between the Zags and San Francisco's at 6 o'clock on Thursday night at McCarthy Athletic Center. The Bulldogs have beaten the Dons 27 straight times. And former Seattle Mariner Adrian Beltre is heading to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Beltre played for Seattle from 2005 to 2009. He hit 477 home runs, earned 5 Gold Gloves, 2 of those with the Mariners, and went to 4 All-Star games in his career. In the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Well, undergoing brain surgery is a serious ordeal under any circumstances, especially if you have to be awake for the procedure. One professional musician decided to play his favorite instrument while on the operating table. Lynn Martinez explains.
It is an unusually interesting sight. Christian Nolan is playing for an audience, but the ones listening are a team of doctors, nurses, and techs operating on his brain while he's awake.
It was just like out of this world, to just wake up and have people actively working inside of your head is kind of an insane feeling.
To end up here, the professional guitar player first noticed an issue after getting knocked around after a show.
And I had lost feeling in my whole left side from the waist up. I wasn't able to move my arm. My face began to drag.
And he ended up in the care of Dr. Ricardo Camotar, a neurosurgeon and director of the brain tumor program at the University of Miami. And that's what Nolan had, a tumor. And the doctor said he needed to be awake for his surgery.
These types of tumors, if you don't have the ability to remove the tumor with the patient awake, actually become much more dangerous.
Nolan underwent the 2-hour procedure, asleep for the beginning, asleep for the end, but awake and on display for some very key moments.
Having the patient awake and playing guitar while we take out the tumor allows us to be as aggressive as possible, yet still maintain his quality of life and his manual dexterity.
The doctor stresses this brain surgery is made possible by everyone who pulls together to make this safe and successful.
The surgeon is only one small part of this entire procedure. It's not possible without amazing neuroanesthesiologists, nurses, techs, residents, fellows, neuro-oncologists, radiation oncologists. It's the entire comprehensive brain tumor program that I'm most amazed about.
As for Nolan, he's back doing what he loves the most, playing guitar outside of the OR.
Being able to like go to the gym and be active again, which is like a big part of my life. It's been very amazing, like the recovery.
Truly amazing. Nolan says he has some remaining treatments and must do physical therapy as well. Well, more states are easing COVID isolation guidelines and moving away from the CDC recommendations, including California and Oregon, where people who test positive will no longer need to isolate for a set period of time, only until they're fever-free for 24 hours. They're the first 2 states to break from federal guidance, which recommends at least 5 days of isolation for anyone with COVID-19. All right, here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight as we head into a break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Next ET, our Andy Cohen exclusive.
The viewers were shocked.
The latest reality on our favorite Bravo celebrities. Plus, Oscar nominations revealed.
So cool.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
We could be in danger.
We gotta break the door down.
Time for the killer to make himself known.
What a terrific finale this is gonna be.
Only Murders in the Building. Broadcast finale tonight.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12.99, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Bruno! Bruno!
Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or get $2,000 NMAC cash on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
The idea of owning a home was a really big dream of mine. It felt kind of like a pipe dream. When I think of a mortgage advisor, I think of someone who is stuffy, not approachable or friendly. But then we went to BECU and I met Lauren. She was like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how you make it happen. This is how you buy a home. And it wasn't scary or overwhelming. Watching my daughter grow up in a home that we own is amazing. My mortgage advisor changed my life and my family's life.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
It's not an I thing, Dad. It's a we thing.
Get a large 2-topping take and bake pizza for just $10.99. Order now at papamurphys.com.
The Jennifer Hudson Show.
Weekdays at 2, only on 4 News Now.
If you're finding it difficult to switch jobs right now, you're not alone. It might not be as easy as the last couple of years. A LinkedIn survey of 1,000 professionals says 85% are considering a switch. But the Wall Street Journal says data from job boards shows companies are pulling back on pay and benefits. According to a recent survey, most people would be willing to earn less money if it meant a better work-life balance. It finds that globally, 52% of responders said they would be willing to take a 20% pay cut for a better work-life balance. Millennials and Generation Z were more open to that idea than Gen X and baby boomers. The respondents consider a better work-life balance allowing them more time to themselves or for their families. 20% though is a big cut.
That is a surprise.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, here is a look at your planning forecast. Plan on more wet weather. Plan on wearing those rain boots to jump over giant puddles. They're everywhere. Melting snow, rain, fog, pretty much every day through the next 7.
All right, we'll just get used to it. But those higher temperatures, even with the rain, are going to feel a little bit better.
It's not bad, is it? I like those clear roads,
There
too.
you go. All right, we'll be back with Nightside for you tonight at 11 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.